The full name of the organization, FAO, is the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United States nations. During the mid-19th century, international conferences were held at which countries exchanges of knowledge in terms of biology, biochemistry, crop diversification, and animal health. In 1905, those efforts were synchronized with the founding of the International Institute of Agriculture. FAO was the final product of having a series of conferences during World War II. A goal of the democracies to conquer hunger was proposed by many nations. President Franklin Roosevelt led the conference along the establishment of UN when the war ended. In October 1945, first FAO conference was held in Quebec, attended by 44 nations, and 34 nations signed the Constitution of FAO existence. In 2009, all around the world, 193 nations are the members of FAO except notable absentees of Singapore. These members agreed on 3 global goals, which are reduction of the absolute number of people suffering from hunger, elimination of poverty with driving forward of economy, and sustainable management of natural resources. By adding levels of nutrition, improving agricultural productivity, the world economy and lives of rural population will be contributed to develop. FAO is the largest international organization consisting of 49 member nations elected by the FAO conference for 3 years term on a rotating system. Once a year, every member gathered to govern the body under an independent chairman in the conference. The Director General has full authority to control the work of FAO with 3,700 staffs, including 2,000 persons working worldwide for various development projects in the field. FAO comprises 8 departments: economic and social policies, agriculture, fisheries, forestry, sustainable development, technical cooperation, administration and finance, and general affairs and information. FAO headquarters were in Washington, D.C. until 1951, but it was moved to Rome after the World War II. The headquarters organized regional offices in Africa, Asia, South and North America from all around the world. Firstly, FAO serves as a knowledge network by using expertise to collect, analyze, and disseminate data that can help development. From this numerical and precise data, FAO published lots of newsletters, reports, and books, magazines, and CD-ROMs to distribute to the farmers or people who want to consult. Secondly, FAO sends their experienced expertise to member countries in devising agriculture policy, supporting planning, drafting legislation, and creating strategies to enhance the rural condition and diminish hunger. Lastly, FAO provides a meeting for policymakers and experts from around the globe to forge agreements on major food and agricultural conflicts and issues. FAO relays the issues between the rich and poor nations to build fair understandings. FAO mobilizes and manages lots of donations by developed countries and banks to assure the project achieve their aims. Also, FAO works with other humanitarian agencies to protect rural livelihoods. FAO was successfully making a strong commitment to assure the full participation of the rural disabled in its food security and poverty alleviation projects and activities in order to enhance fisheries, agricultural life condition, and improvement opportunities. Furthermore, FAO was awarded among 300,000 organizations worldwide for extraordinary contribution to the global society, especially developing technologies of using GIS and map distribution of aquatic resources, environment and fishery management to improve the sustainability of fisheries and aquaculture. In 2007, FAO had over 600,000 vulnerable households in Sudan in order to protect resources, create new sources of livelihood, and allow economic recovery. In nature resource management and sustainable land use, over 10,000 people were encouraged to participate. The establishment of junior farmer field and life schools enabled 350 children to receive a basic education and trade skills in Sudan. At the end of 2007, FAO contributed as a critical role in aiding and coordinating food security and collaborating with the government of Sudan, including avian influenza and training government workers. The world economic crisis is the prime cause of increasing undernourished, over 1 million people starving each day. The impact of the financial crisis added additional 75 million people in hunger and may be felt in developing countries with negative effects on agriculture and food security. At a press conference in June 2009, Jack Stiff, Director General of FAO, said a dangerous mix of the global economic slowdown combined with stubbornly high food prices in many countries has pushed some 100 million more people than last year into chronic hunger and poverty. The silent hunger crisis poses a serious risk for world peace and security. We urgently need to forge a broad consensus on the total and rapid eradication of hunger in the world and to take necessary actions. Due to the world economic crisis, even developed countries needed to spend the money on their problem. Therefore, the amount of aid to LDC had decreased. FAO warned that less aid for agriculture due to the global financial crisis would bring another global food crisis. The negative influence food from production and consumption will be affected. The crisis made the credit crisis, which made it difficult for farmers to borrow money to expand production or even maintain current levels. The financial crisis shrank the consumer spending and led to a reduction in available food for undernourished people. Despite a 4.9% increase of crop production, some 36 countries still need external aid due to crop failures and insecurities. FAO takes an important role in the present world economic situation. FAO arranged the high-level conferences on world food security with governments and world leaders. They agreed on taking actions to fight against the negative impacts of soaring food prices on vulnerable countries. Particularly, Food Conference on June, wealthy nations pledged to donate $20 billion to aid poor countries. So currently on November 2009 in Rome, FAO acted as a relay station and convened world leaders for the World Summit on Food Security. In the conference, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and FAO head Jacques Stiff had fast for a day to bring attention to address the problems of world hunger and pollution. Despite of their distant efforts, the conference had failed to achieve its goal of including specific date and amount of money aid due to the absence of leaders from developed countries.